Inspectors found expired food like moldy vegetables at several Valley restaurants this week.
Here is Jason Berry with an all-new dirty dining report.
Cheese out of temperature, food kept past its discard date. That's just a taste of the violations inspectors uncovered at Valley restaurants this week.
Plaza Bonita on the Carefree Highway near 27th Drive in Phoenix. 3 major health code violations. Raw beef stored above ready-to-eat sauce. A dishwasher not cleaning correctly. A walk-in cooler not keeping food cold enough. Taco Papi on Northside Boulevard off Raintree in Scottsdale. 3 violations. No certified food manager on duty. Salsa not cooling properly. Cutting boards deeply scratched and scored. Sushi Creek at Ellsworth and Ocotillo in Queen Creek. 4 violations. An employee touching dirty dishes, then clean dishes without washing his hands. An employee placing a lime on a Moscow mule with his bare hands. Cheese in the fridge out of temperature. Plumbing not installed properly. Opa Life Greek Cafe at Baseline and College Drive in Tempe. 4 violations. Boxes of raw bacon stored over onions, peppers, and pizza dough. Not enough sanitizer in a dishwasher. Feta, chopped lettuce, and Greek dressing not kept cold enough. Pizza sauce and pasta kept past their discard dates. And the place with the most health code violations? Cha Yen Fa and Boba on Bell Road off 7th Street in Phoenix. 5 major violations.
Cha Yen Fa and Boba had an employee not washing his hands properly. Paper towels not stocked at a hand wash sink. White organic matter on tomatoes and cucumbers. Pho broth not kept hot enough. And pot stickers out of temperature. The restaurant is now on notice to clean up or could face legal action. Jason Berry.
All right, time to recognize the restaurants that made the Dean's List. These are the restaurants with perfect health inspection scores this week. The Culinary Dropout on Camelback and Scottsdale Road, the Tropical Smoothie Cafe at Thunderbird and 43rd Avenue in Phoenix, and the Cinnabon in the Superstition Springs Center in Mesa.
Starbucks on 103rd Avenue in Grand and Sun City, El Taco Tree on Pima and Johnny in Gila Bend, and Barrio Queen at 103rd Avenue and McDowell in Avondale.